Yes, the first of two on a Fox League doubleheader on Friday night footy. The Raiders at home to the Knights. Two teams predicted to be moving up the ladder in 2019, but they may well be fighting for the one position in the top eight. And if it works out that way, this game becomes a very important one. Hi, everybody. Warren Smith, Braithen Astor, Brett Finch and Hannah Hollis to take you through all the action of this one before we take you north for the Eels and the Roosters. Two terrific games tonight coming your way live right here on Fox League. And both these sides coming off losses last week are impressive in week one. And both Nathan Brown and Ricky Stewart would like to leave here with a W next to their team's name tonight to be 1 and 2. There's so much talk about the way they were anticipated to move up the ladder in 2019. A 1 and 2 record wouldn't be the way both coaches would like to begin the season.
Yeah, this game should be an absolute cracker. They've both got huge potential. You just spoke about that, Was, and a lot of expectations in 2019, not so much in probably 2018. So if you look at it, they've both won one of two games. They come here and we expect them to play an expansive style of footy, Finchy, and I'm expecting a really exciting game.
Yeah, I think so, and conditions will suit. And I think for Canberra to start the season, 2 of the first 3 games at home, you want to capitalise on that. And they've always been tough to beat down here. And, you know, if you want to be a top 8 team, these are the type of games you need to win.
It should be a massive advantage playing down here, especially when it gets a bit cooler, quite obviously, in Canberra. The Knights come out. Nathan Brown has resisted the temptation to move Kalen Ponga back to the full-back position. And the versatile Kurt Mann has that job tonight. David Clemmer, though, what a revelation he has been as a Knights forward in 2019.
Yeah, what a start for David Clemmer. Newcastle, just what the doctor ordered, really. He's been making the most metres by a country mile for his side. So consistent, confronting in that front row and just getting them quick play the balls and good field position, which, as I mentioned, it's something that Newcastle have probably lacked over the years that now they are happy to have on their side.
The Raiders will file on out. It's time for the Viking clap.
Over to Chris O'Sullivan to bring out our team.
Off the back of the big blow of the horn by the former premiership winner, Chris O'Sullivan, for a little 5'8". He's got some big lungs, Finchy.
Yeah, he certainly does. And isn't it great, the Viking clap? It's an excellent idea the Raiders have brought on. And what a way to run out and lead your team. Josh Hodgson and co-captain Jared Croker looking for a big game this afternoon against the Knights.
It's not quite an all-English forward pack, but 4 of the starting 6 are the Englishmen: Ryan Sutton, Elliot Whitehead, John Bateman and Josh Hodgson. And Sutton getting a chance to start tonight in the 13 jumper with that injury to Joe Tarpany. Should be out for maybe only as little as 1 week, Ricky Stewart is hoping for. Kalen Ponga still getting used to this role in the 5'8" position. Been a mixed bag so far. A terrific pass last week for an Edric Lee try early kick against the Panthers, and Jared Croker gets us underway. The Knights on the road, taking on Canberra here in the nation's capital. And I'll bring it out. It'll be played by Glasby, just outside their 10 on the initial carry. As Fitzgibbon works it up. Strong tackle by Josh Papali, along with Danamus Louis, and Ricky Stewart effusive in his praise of Josh Papali and his defence, his work rate and his leadership. He's become a real leader, he said, in the lead up to this game. Really matured as a footballer on and off the field. As Matatia plays it, goes from Levi, comes back here to Mitch Barnett in the starting side for Nathan Brown, and a penalty Early on for the Newcastle Knights in set number 1.
Yeah, Mitch Barnett, he's been coming off the bench, but he gets a starting spot. He's been great the first 2 weeks, and I thought he'd come up with an error, but there must be a hand in here. Yeah, Hodgson only loose. It's a loose carry. I'm not too sure about that. Maybe a little bit lucky there, Mitch.
Yeah, definitely could have gone either way, but the Knights will certainly take it. And Mitchell Pearce finds touch 25 metres out from the Raiders line.
All the way, Timmy, Ryan. Ryan, all the way. Hold. Go.
Terrific opening chance for the Newcastle Knights to post first points here tonight.
Now
Clever.
do the best.
Stopped there in a strong tackle. It was Dynamis Louis. Also Elliot Whitehead involved as well. Pearce just take it to Glasby to work it forward. Pearce on the left-hand side. Ponga fading out the back to the right-hand side now. They switch. Pearce comes right. Out the back to Ponga. He goes again to Kurt Mann. Croker came up very quickly, though. Great defence by the veteran centre.
Well, he saved the try. There was a 3-on-2 on the outside.
Levi goes to Pearce, who holds it up with a double pump of the ball. Good defence once again. Hodgson underneath. Most of the tackling with some help from Bateman over the top. Pearce left now with Ponga on his outside. Comes back to the middle. Poke his nose through the line. Again, it's Hodgson right around the legs. Two very big efforts from the English hooker. Ponga chipping towards the in goal. Play on there. Rapana took it, but he left the ground from the field of play, and it's play on for the Raiders as Leilua takes the next carry.
Yeah, nice defence there from Canberra. Nice attack too from the Knights. They'll be happy with some of the opportunities that did present themselves. And Jared Croker, he come up with a great tackle to save a try.
Mitchell Pearce going as close as anybody. Newcastle attacking Ray to scoring. It's chopped down by the tackle of Hodgson. Impressive start by the Raiders number 9 defensively. Play it here as Sutton plays it now. Whiten kicking through the line. We'll go down to Kenny Dow. He'll feed it across to Kurt Mann, wearing 14, but playing in the fullback role tonight, and he gets hit with a beauty by John Bateman. Stopped him in his tracks. Dragons fans will remember that when Kurt Mann moved from the Melbourne Storm to the St George Illawarra Dragons, the first 2 games he played back in 2016 were as the Dragons fullback, but that was a short-lived experiment of sorts, and he won't run back towards John Bateman in a hurry, given that effort. And that kick return just there.
Here we are. Hold.
Huts. 40 out from the Raiders line. Plays it for Pearce to put it up in the air. Nickel Klotstad standing underneath it, makes a good catch. Just game number 10 of his NRL career, but the first choice fullback for Ricky Stewart. The late call up with White moving into the halves, and so far so good for Chansey. Kotrick. Such a bullocking young winger. Look at him. Pushing both Levi and Barnett backwards in the tackle. Hodgson thought they might not have been square there at marker. Took them on. Barnett perhaps getting away with one just outside the 40. Oh, standing in the tackle. Takes through them to get them to ground. Clemmer over the top with Glasby also involved. And now Whiten puts it up again. They kick towards Kenny Dow. Man instead puts it down. Was there confusion between the winger and the fullback? It looked as though it was going to be Kenny Dow to take the catch. Man must have called him off it, but couldn't come up with a catch.
Yeah, it's exactly what you don't want when you're playing at fullback and you have just been called in, really. It was a simple take, a little bit of confusion, but still, it wasn't a tough kick there from Jack White. Interestingly to see that White has come up with the first 2 kicks for Canberra when they've got Williams on the field. That's a surprise to me, but that's a nice little kick there from Jack.
And you'd expect Kurt Mann will get a few more of them as
well, he will now.
Afternoon goes on.
He will now. Yep. And that's, you know, that's why it's the worst possible start, because now they will torture him.
Hold. Mitch, head in.
And that's what happened back in 2016. A couple of unedifying moments, and the number 1 jumper for St George Illawarra. The fans were baying, and Paul McGregor didn't take long to make a switch. And that's a chance. Not the start you mentioned, boys. that he was looking for here tonight. Flat ball here. Sutton tried to spin. I think he lost it. As he brought it to ground, they will check to see.
Nah,
Yeah, I think you're right,
I'm
Woz.
going try here.
Oh.
Of course. I've tackled 3. I have a try. Can you confirm that he gets the ball to ground here?
I thought his elbows land on the ground and it knocked the ball loose, but we'll soon see. Nice little hit and spin here, Braith.
He wasn't confident at all, unless it's simultaneous when it hits the... No.
Ryan Sutton loses possession of the ball prior to grounding the ball. We have a decision.
What a let-off in the opening exchanges. First real chance in attack. Sutton gets to the line but can't get it down.
Well, you'd be disappointed if only Sutton.
Out to the 20, fellas. 0 tackle here, fellas.
That would have been a great start. Lovely short ball.
There's a beautiful pass from Hodgson. He really should have scored that, Finchy.
On the line.
Yeah, the big fella. Don't know when next time you'll get another clean look at the try line like that, but
He was in shock.
Well, scare for the Knights early on. We mentioned Hannah Hollis on the sideline here tonight. Fairly mild evening here in Canberra, Hannah.
Good evening. It's mild at the moment, but there was some heavy rain. It belted down early today in the nation's capital, so the track was heavy underfoot. Right now, though, it's dry, and I can even see some blue skies peeking through. However, we have been advised to prepare for a thunderstorm later on this evening. As for the wind, just a slight breeze moving right to left of your screens at the backs of the Knights, but no clear advantage at this stage.
Here is Newcastle for the moment. Thunderstorm, I tell you. I'm 3 from 4 as far as rain in games I've called so far this season. We'll see if the record stays the same. Here is Glasby. Play it just inside the 40. Goes from Levi. Pearce had Clemmer pushing up in support. There's a bit of a gap there as Williams came out of the line quickly on that right-hand side. Pearce took the tackle, though, as Ponga puts it in the air. Some pressure here on Rapana, who makes the catch. And they wrap him up a metre out from the line so far. The kicking game on the left-hand side from the Knights has been very good.
Yeah, nice kick there from Kalen Ponga, better than the one beforehand. And Mitchell Pearce looking very dangerous in attack. He looks really good with ball in hand so far today.
Yeah, nice and square and direct. He's going out the line. You see then, created a bit of space for Clemmer, but he just couldn't get into that next space, that next gap along in the Raiders' defence.
Nathan Brown spoke in the pre-game show about handling the line speed tonight against the Raiders after not doing a great job against the Panthers last week. To this point, they haven't been too bad working it out of their own end. They get another chance here. And it's Sean Kenny Dow. They've been kicking to him exclusively. It takes him away from the play-to option. He's one of the best, along with Blake Ferguson, former teammates at the Roosters. And they're certainly both in the top 5 as far as metres from inside their own 40 is concerned. Hunt to play it. Levi. Edric Lee.
Nice run.
Hero against the Sharks back in round 1 with the intercept and the long-range try. Another one last week. Levi jumps out of dummy half. And the marker's absent. Here is Pearce to put it in the air. Kenny Dowd coming through, looking to put some pressure on Kotrick. Couldn't make a contest of it, but again, the kick ends up inside the Raiders' 10, and they do the hard yards through Nickel Clockstad. Matati had called out of it, still got involved in the play, and it's play on.
Nickel Clockstad tackled him. He tried to get it out of the way.
He just got to hit up a quick play the ball on a dominant tackle. All in one run. Good
meters here as Hodgson heads out to the right-hand side. Williams goes wide. Leilua just went straight past Edric Lee. Comes towards Kurt Mann, who makes a good stop. There's some help from Heimel Hunt. They drag him down just outside the 20. From Williams, it goes to Hodgson. Back on the inside for Sutton. So close a moment ago. Here he's just 12 away. Down the short side, Hodgson, Grubbers. An awkward one to handle, diving through. Sam Williams pounced.
Yep.
In his return to the NRL, a terrific kick. And what a chase by Williams.
Of course, I've tackled 1, ball was played at. I have a try. Can we just confirm the kick and then confirm grounding here?
All right, so we're going to have a look at the grounding from Sam Williams.
Chase from Canberra is cleared as onside.
He's onside, okay. Great kick. Well, it's going to be close. is going to be very close. Does he touch the ball before it bounces? The timing's got to be right of this, or is it could... Oh, I don't know.
I think he's knocked on, Braith.
I'm not too sure about this, Finchy. I mean, it just bounces high enough to see maybe some space in between the ball and... Oh, that's very hard. They've ruled this try on field.
I think the head-on shot gives us a good reaction from Williams anyway. He reacted best to the ricochet.
I don't think they can overturn this from the evidence we can see so far. I don't think they can overturn it. I think it's got to be a try. I can't see any... Oh, see, is there space there?
Well, it's not completely clear.
There's no downward pressure in the end goal by the Canberra player. It's a knock-on in the end goal. We have a decision.
Wow.
That was a tough one.
That's a confident call, isn't it?
Yeah.
I thought no try, but I thought because there was the try originally ruled, I didn't think there was enough evidence to overturn. But
there wasn't enough evidence there to suggest that was 100% not a try from Sam Williams.
And Newcastle have dubbed the ball for the second time now, and
wow. That's two, you're right, Finchy. That's 2 tries already. And this man, I mean, Hodgson scheming, the maestro out of dummy half, proving already to be really hard to handle with those Newcastle forwards in the middle of the ruck there. He looks so dangerous.
Well, he's worried him with his passing game early here with Sutton, and he's done it again with his kicking. So a great start for the Raiders, number 9.
Appeared to be, depending on your mind, a fairly tough call against the Canberra Raiders right there. Mistake, though. They get a chance again. Whiten picks it up. He'll go inside the 30, and they can come right back at them here. Across the line twice for no points as yet. Louis it is. He's right in front of the post. We'll play it here for Hodgson. Now Williams goes to Nickel Clogstad. Great step. Got away from Ponga. Cleaned up back on the inside, though, by Fitzgibbon. Here is Papali. The big papa, not too far away.
Square hole.
We'll play it for Hodgson. What a great pass, and an awful one to handle. Knocked on, it looked like, into the legs of Whitehead, and the referees agree.
I'm actually relieved. That was a slow call from the referee. I thought they're going to let this go. We were just wrapping Hodgson up there, but that was a poor pass and a bit too hard to handle here for Jack Whiten.
They're certainly up and about, but the Raiders think Ricky Stewart will be happy with their start. Nice contact on Barnett, which forced the loose ball. And again, probably didn't take their opportunity down here in the Knights half and let them off the hook once again.
Plenty of chances early on for the Canberra Raiders.
Lock it in, Josh. Head in.
Bunch of sets of 6 from close range.
Heads down. Get in.
Unfortunate
Elliot.
not to be on the board already.
Ball in. Chance. Out.
Here's a double pump on the scrum feed. And it's Kenny Dow to work it away. Levi gets to dummy half. Not worry about the play of the ball. And too slow in getting off the tackled player. Ryan Sutton trying to slow things down. They can't take a trick at the moment, Canberra.
They can't. They've just missed 2 definite try-scoring opportunities. They make an error on tackle 2, and now they give a penalty away, which really relieves the pressure here for Newcastle. They can march on down the field. Feeling pretty good after all that.
Here we are, fellas, all the way. All the way.
The Knights get their turn through Clemmer to work it forward. One off the ruck on the left-hand side. Pearce issuing instructions on this right-hand side. Ricky nervous as ever, and as always, riding the sideline. Here's Matautia. Levi. A little shimmy out of dummy half. Pearce to go to Ponga. Fitzgibbon looking for an offload. He had Mann pushing up on the outside, but decided to hang on to it. Here is Ponga, who shows it and gives it Pearce quick hands. Matautia, the old Harbour Bridge over the top. Kenny Dow wants to keep it going. Goes back to Ramian, who just dispenses with Nick Kotrick. That's not easy to do. He's always been a strong centre, whether it's the Sharks or the Knights. Jesse Ramian, some strength right there. He'll play it for Levi. Pearce at the line, out the back for Ponga. Numbers on the left-hand side, the stepping from Ponga. He's like John Travolta has come to Canberra. Off the legs of the Raiders, play on, last tackle. Levi out of dummy half, takes them on himself. He went very close. So close, in fact, they want to check it.
Tackle 6. I have no try. Just confirm that the ball doesn't get to ground there.
Well, this is going to be close also. He shows great speed, determination to try and get over Dynamis Louis. And also Elliot Whitehead. And he reaches out. That's Sutton, actually, but he reaches out, does he? Oh. That's close, too. It looks like it's
Originally shorter.
It's gone up, no try.
I don't think we're going to be able to see from this angle. No. I don't know if it has touched the ground. And the referee just said it was short originally.
Well, short originally,
Possession
but
is
perhaps
always
ended
maintained by
up
Danny
on the
Levi.
line.
In this angle here, he's short of the line. That's the tackle complete. We have a decision.
Okay.
Yep, you got short of the line.
Would have been very
Tackle
tough on the
6, so
Raiders
we're
to
gonna
give
change
that
over.
one, given what we saw at the other end. That would have been benefit of the doubt in the extreme right there, given the tangle of bodies, and there was no clear shot. Red lights again. 3 no tries from 3 referrals so far.
Well, last couple of sets the Knights have had down here, unfortunately for them, Mitchell Pearce has had the ball on that last tackle. He's been played the ball, so they've had a kick from Kalyn Ponga that was okay, but probably didn't get the result they wanted. And then Levi just had a dart out of dummy half. Went close, but that man right there would have loved the repeat set and applied more pressure to the Raiders.
The Raiders they're coming up nice and fast on the edges, trying to push and pressure the Knights into going back in field. It's working so far. I think Newcastle got to get a little bit more depth in attack.
Or either break it down, get a quick play of the ball and go again at that edge again, but the Knights certainly are having troubles trying to get round the Raiders.
There's a chance on the edge. Bateman on that right-hand side. Played so fast, moving to the centres in round 1. Last week on the edge, and again starting on the edge on that right-hand side for Tarpany. Again here tonight. Leilua forces the issue. Was there a touch there and a knock-on?
Here we are.
We're going to say last tackle. Play on for Canberra. It's Whiten to kick from just outside their own 30, and he's kicked it out on the full.
It's an ordinary kick from Jack Whiten, but it's a surprise to me that he's doing most of the kicks with Williams in the side. It's just Williams' strength as a half is his control, his game management, and his kicking game. Now, Jack's already had 3 or 4 kicks in this game. It's only 15 minutes long. Sam Williams has had 1.
We'll see how the breakdown of kicking goes throughout the rest of the game. Certainly a big boot does Jack Whiten.
I just think it adds more pressure to his game at the moment. You just take that away from him for now.
Well, he just takes the option kick, doesn't he?
Yeah,
If there's
right.
pressure on Sam, he can just pop up on the other side of the field, but the Knights on the attack.
Ponga goes to Edric Lee, trying to reproduce what they did last week. And that loss to the Panthers. Ponga comes back to Pearce. And Barnett just takes a settler, chopped down there, and a lovely tackle by Sutton. Back to Ponga on that short side. Pearce, not a great ball under pressure. It was forward anyway, but straight into the arms of Rapana.
Yeah, and Braith, exactly right there, as you said. The play before, the Raiders rushed up hard and they turned Mitchell Barnett underneath and he got a quick play ball. That's where they need to keep going at that same edge. They come back to the other side where the Raiders are set. They get up in their face again. Rapana does a great work after Luluai forced the bad pass, and
it's just timing, Finchy, there. You know, they created the 3-on-2 on the outside. Pearce had the numbers and he threw an ordinary pass because they're rushing them. They've got to get more depth in attack. They've got to slow it down a little bit more. Then they can dictate terms. Canberra are making them play and come up with the wrong option.
Well, potentially just roll one in behind and make them think about it. I think the chances so far from close range. No grubbers as yet. Either Pearce or Ponga. Still, no score here in Canberra. It's Papali standing in the tackle. Hard to get to ground to begin this game. Has been making more metres than any other Raiders forward through the first couple of weeks of the season. Hodgson looking up a tally already himself here tonight, and then meters after contact as well. Like the workaround, dragging them with him. Anamas Louis running to Ponga. Welcome to defending in the front line. See if they try and do that a bit more often on that right edge, the Raiders. Here is Whiten, floating, showing it. Now taking them on. Ramian grabbed him by the collar. They've got one more play here from close range. Big set off the back of the penalty. The kick from Williams floating into the end goal. That wasn't what Ricky was looking for.
It wasn't, and I don't think Nathan Brown will be looking to see that contact on his star player, Kalen Ponga, either. And that's probably the argument why he should be at fullback. You know, for someone just coming in and such skill, he doesn't need to be doing that defence. He's the foreman. There's plenty of other labourers out there to do that sort of work for him. He certainly likes tackling. He's not afraid to tackle. He's a tough kid, but geez, I'd still have him in the #1 jumper.
It was quite a collision. It wasn't. He came recoiling out of it. He's okay. Waiting for a chance on that left-hand side. Up on the inside here of Pearce. Now switches to the outside. Hunt. Well stopped by Leilua. Goes back to Edric Lee with a skip. 197 centimetres of Edric. Just outside the 20. And Levi to Pearce. He goes wide. Croker again jamming in. And that is the pattern on both edges for Canberra here tonight. Get in and get in quick. Now Ramian. It'd be hard to stop. Stop there by White, and the pass to Kenny Dow. It was pretty ordinary. Now Kotrick fighting. They're going to say he was already held.
And again, Braith, to your point, they just need to work on their depth there. There's opportunities with the Raiders coming out of the line.
To me, early on in this game, we're seeing two sides with inexperienced halves. And you learn on the run and you adapt to the game. And neither side right now are doing that.
And changes here for both coaches. Aiden Guerra is out there. Barnett coming off for Nathan Brown. See the Soliola also getting a chance as Williams goes to Bateman and turns Ponga inside out. He's got some speed, a skip as he goes towards man. Straight past the cover of Guerra, pops it out the back. Picked up there by Leilua on the gallop. They're just outside the 10. Play number 5, they go back to the right. Williams sent to some space. Whiten going towards the corner. Edric comes up with the intercept, but runs into touch in doing so. It doesn't matter because they were all offside on that left edge of the defensive line.
What about Bateman? What a player he is. Look at this, change of direction, but maintains the speed. Gets through the defensive line. Even here, he beats Kurt Mann, the fullback, another right foot step, throws the offload off the back to Leilua, and then I just thought it's try time. They go to the right-hand side, and he just got to think run. He's got to think run there. That's his best attribute, Jack Whiten, and he went for the pass. Edric Lee, he loves an intercept.
Well, I bet you Edric happy he didn't run the length and then realised there was a penalty. He would have come all the way back. Raiders on the attack.
Now, Danny!
And going pretty close as well. Soliola will play it there. A metre out from the pad. Here's Hodgson, Williams, Bateman. That lovely line he ran to come back on the inside shoulder of Kalen Ponga. Look at Klogstad waiting at dummy half. Comes back for Williams to give it off to Sutton. The first of the no-try men here tonight. Hodgson into the left-hand side. Williams just shifted on to the Parley. Grabbed there in a 4-man tackle. Seems they keep coming to the short side here, which is what they do. Cut out ball. Croker just one-on-one initially there with Jesse Ramian. Not much happening. Now on the last, they're wedged into a corner. There's some pressure here on Hodgson, who puts a kick in. It's a beautifully weighted one! And Chansey, Nickel Klogstad has a try as a Canberra Raider.
Yeah, beautiful kick from Josh Hodgson. We've already spoke about him tonight and the effect he's had on this game, and it's his kick once again. Watch the way he shapes the football. It's a lovely kick. He shapes it so the ball runs away from the Knights fullback and towards his chaser. Look at the way he shapes the ball, angles the ball, kicks it on the instep, and it just bounces up perfectly for the fullback. Look at that. That's beautiful skill. So the ball turns away from the Knights' Kurt Mann and into the waiting arms.
It's perfection, Finchy. This is what you practice for. This is on purpose. I mean, Hodgson puts that kick in. He shapes it from left to right, so it swings away from Kurt Mann, the fullback, but it actually swings into the arms of his outside chasers in Nickel Klokstad. Beautiful execution, perfection.
What about his strike rate? The former Warrior, now Canberra Raider, 10th game of his NRL career, 8 tries. Almost going at a try per game, and the speed he came with then was breathtaking.
Fantastic kick. Well, as you mentioned how they were stuck in the corner, it probably wasn't the greatest play to set yourself up for a kick. And the little number 9, geez, he's a quality player. He just summed up the situation beautifully. He's got plenty of time on his hands and just executed a perfect kick. And the Raiders, after have 2 disallowed, they finally get on the board, was.
Well, Hodgson may well have had 2 try assists of 2 kicks, and the bunker gone the other way with that no call on the Sam Williams try back in the 11th minute. From right in front, Jarrod Croker to make it 6-0 midway through this opening half. The Eels and the Roosters to follow back in Sydney. It is a 6-0 scoreline. Downstairs to Hannah Hollis.
Warren, it's 3rd time lucky for the Canberra Raiders at GIO Stadium. First, it was the Englishman, the Ryan Sutton no try, fumbling the ball. It was a Josh Hodgson kick, but he couldn't quite complete. And then it was a Sam Williams no try, ruled knock on, and that kick was from Josh Hodgson as well. But then finally, Chance Nickel Klokstad goes over for his very first try in the lime green. Ricky Stewart jumped to his feet. Points at last.
Such speed. He really is a try scorer, isn't he?
He got there quick, but then to pick up the ball at speed is very difficult. He made it look easy.
The 23-year-old
Stay on.
joins the try-scoring ranks here in Canberra. A real difference, isn't there, so far in the poise at either end of the field. As we mentioned, Josh Hodgson unlucky not to have 2 try assists already. He's put them on the board right there. Compare that to what Pearce and Ponga have offered at the other end. There's a touch of class from the English number 9, isn't there?
It certainly is. One thing we've overlooked is the defence of both sides. The only try that's been conceded is off the back of a kick. These 2 sides over the pre-season have worked really hard on their defence. The Canberra Raiders are 3rd in the competition. The Knights are 4th, and this is why.
Soliola losing his footing as he makes it up towards the 40. Slow play the ball, and now one in the kick from inside the 40. He shanked this one. One hook, one shank, both of them out of bounds.
Oh, he's out of bounds, all right. He'll need to reload. That's a bit of a shocker.
Yeah, bounce back. Don't worry, young fella. Certainly been there before.
Well, we all have, and it's hard because he's not used to it, you know. And that's why I go back and I go back to Sammy Williams. I just think he should be doing the kicks, especially out of their own end.
Great work from their captain too. Hodgson comes straight over, tapped him on the head and said, let's go again, mate. So here they are, the Raiders now defending that error.
Well, feeling Ricky Stewart suddenly agrees with you, Braith, as far as this general play kicking for the Raiders is concerned. Levi, what can they offer here? Another chance for Newcastle. Again, they're up quickly. This time it's Whiten trying to make up for the mistake a moment ago. And slow play the ball. He spun Ponga around there. You can't do that.
Hold it.
And again, we've seen the line speed, not enough depth. They need to look to play short and break it down, then go again, or look for a kick. They just need to change it up. They get picked off every time.
Jack, hold Jack. Hold Jared, hold.
They've had a dozen tackles already inside the Raiders 20. Here's Pearce, and Glasby puts it down. Nickel Klokstad picks it up. Good thing he was wrapped up there by Pearce. They're all up pushing up in support, and he could have run a long way there, Chance.
Yeah, they're struggling with their rhythm in the attack, aren't they, Braith? It's just
their timing's out.
It's a little clunky. They can't get it right.
The Raiders in the meantime through Kotrick, ducking under the tackle there, the attempted tackle of Matautia, who came again. He was very deep at marker. Not so deep that he was out of position according to the referees. Aidan Guerra taking a long time to get off Jordan Rapana, who followed the Cotric run. Soliolo follows suit, and very quickly they're back inside the 30.
Well, this is a powerful set from the Raiders. Look how far they've come.
Bateman listed at 99 kilograms, giving away weight to most forwards in the competition, but boy, he plays above his weight, doesn't he? Little chance there, Leilua. Just couldn't link up with Rapana. How many tries have they provided like that over the years?
Really nice defence from Edric Lee. Watch how he gets out on the outside of Ponga, and Lee just holds, keeps his shoulder square. So many times you see the winger collapse into Leilua, which creates space for Rapana, but he did really well. He trusted his inside man, kept his shoulders square and forced the error.
Well, it shows he's done his homework too, Finchy, because that's a pet play there from Leilua to Rapana.
Hold square, Elliot.
James Gabbett off the bench. Nathan Brown, 13 remaining before half-time here. Just the one try and a beautiful night for rugby league. Field in great condition, terrific surface. And now Kenny Dow away from Whiten. Take it back towards the halfway line. Last play here. Pearce it is. They chased out hard. As a result, the kick had to go up. Not plenty of distance on it, though. And Nickel Clockstad made a very good catch in the end. He's always had a huge boot, Mitchell Pearson. Despite being under pressure there, he lobbed that all the way down to the Raiders 10. Papali gets a breather. Rory Horsburgh on his feet, not too far away from getting some action for Ricky Stewart. Silva Havili will work it forward to play it here just outside the 30. Hodgson again. Cotric, who threatens to bust through the line every time and right through the middle as well. Gives Soliola this chance on his second phase action. There's the young winger. Canberra chasing through, slides past turf inside.
Oh, Jack finding the ground there, didn't kick it out. Chase through and he missed the tackle.
With Whiten. A few errors in there.
I wonder if he's thinking, boy,
Tough crowd, they could have been down than that.
Now Ponga, he goes out to Highmore Hunt to the outside shoulder there of Joey Leilua with some help from Rapper. They stop him inside the 30. Last tackle. Ponga with that left boot puts it up, and he might have accidentally got Bateman right on the cheekbone there. Another terrific catch by Nickel Clockstad, who comes down with it up above Mitchell Pearce in the chase. And there is an issue back behind the play for John Bateman chasing through. He ran face first into the studs of Kalen Ponga.
There's a good kick there from Kalen Ponga, but Nickel Clockstad, he can do no wrong. He's been so safe under the high ball, plenty of metres out of his own end and come up with a try. And you'll see here, this is the kick here from Kalen Ponga, and well, he can't avoid that. That's an accident. Hopefully Bateman's okay.
He was trying to pull up and not contact the kicking leg there of Ponga. Doing so, got some studs right on the mush. From inside the 40 this time, that was a good kick, low and hard, and had the great angle on it. Kenny Dow wasn't positioned well. That was a 40-20 for Whiten.
Newcastle look tired. Dominating possession and field position at the moment at Canberra. They're definitely on top, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, look at them both there. All in behind the ruck.
See there. Danny Levi just sucking in the big ones. He's tired, he's getting a rest, well-earned rest.
And Jamie Buhrer is out there, pretty much a bench player throughout the 2018 season for Nathan Brown, getting a chance in the opening half here tonight as man goes on to Ramian, straight past Whiten. He runs towards Nickel Clockstad. Too much speed and too much power from Jesse Ramian. That's why they were keen to nab him from the Sharks. What a run.
Here he is, Jesse Ramian, his first try for the Newcastle Knights, their first try on the right-hand side. And have a look at this, explosive speed and power, left arm fend on Jack White. And Nickel Clockstad, well, he gets on the outside, he had no chance. Jesse Ramian, what a try.
And we spoke about they've had the block play all afternoon. That time, Pearce played out the back to man, and he just had 3 straight runners, nice and flat. If you get the wide angle, you see Kotrick comes flying up anyway to shut it down. He goes past the footy. And you get a one-on-one there. Instead of playing out the back and you're a sitting duck, hits the centre 3/4, and didn't he do a great job? I know the Sharks are desperate to keep this young man. A lot of potential, and Nathan Brown's happy to have him in the red and blue up there in the Hunter, and that's a great try.
He's a special talent, Jesse Ramian, and he hasn't seen much of the ball the first couple of rounds. And I spoke to Nathan Brown before the game, and he wanted him to get more ball, and there it is. It's simple. It's simple. They've been going block plays side to side and not making a dent in the opposition, Finchy. Look how simple that was.
Exactly right, mate. Sometimes you overcomplicate things, and you look at players like this, they're playmakers themselves. Just give them early ball and let them have a one-on-one with their opposite man. And you see what he did there. It's just let him go. Give him early ball, let him play. Sometimes you overcomplicate things with the shapes and runners you put in motion, but nice and simple, nice and direct, and it gets the results for the Knights.
Taylor Ponga can't convert from out wide, but Jesse Ramian, such speed right there to just burn Jack Whiten in the front line. Watch this and enjoy it again. The fend in the chest. Whiten had no answer.
So poised, but even with Nickel Clockstad, he didn't panic. He saw him inside. He could have went inside of him. He stayed outside, but he was in total control. He was always scoring that try.
The Knights fans have been waiting to see that through the first couple of rounds. A real glimpse there of what he can do. Brings them back within 2. 8.5 out from half-time. Here's Gavitt bringing it back. And a posse of Raiders defenders right there, including Leilua and also Bateman.
Out, Corey. Josh square.
Bureau waiting for the Fitzgibbon to play the ball. Across to Aiden Guerra. Off the bench again here tonight. Over Clemmer. They're up very quickly there. Plenty of line speed from the Raiders on that occasion. 2 more plays in this set, though. A slow play the ball from Clemmer. Pearce wanted to kick from inside the 40, but Kotrick was hedging his bets, and with his speed was able to get back there and track that down on the floor. It was a good kick again from Pearce, trying to catch them out 1 play early. Kotrick to play it. Nickel Clockstad, who swooped for the Raiders try off the boot. That deft touch from Josh Hodgson. Croker. Oh, the ball comes free, in fact. It bounced around. Now there's a whistle and a chance coming up once again for Newcastle.
Well, after being out of sorts for the majority of this half, the Knights now get an opportunity to try and get a lead here on the Raiders. Croker just trying to force the pass. I don't know if that's a knock-on.
No, I didn't think it was a knock-on, Finchy. It was messy, and Croker was looking for the offload, but there wasn't actually a knock-on in the play. It was just clumsy.
Well, don't forget, next up, the undefeated Eels host the defending premiers, the Sydney Roosters. Fergie Ferg up against his former club. He's been in terrific form. Blake Ferguson in a big game last weekend against the Dogs. Eels aiming to win their first 3 matches of a season for the first time since 1993. That's next on Fox League. Here is Kurt Mann for the moment. He'll work his way through the Raiders defensive line. It goes from Ponga, who's going to link with Gavitt, and then somebody conceded the tackle for fear of giving away an obstruction penalty. Horsburgh is out there involved in that stop with Soliola. Gavitt, good carry. Really underneath, was under pressure there. Got some help from Hodgson. Bureau had to wait. Not a great ball for Pearce. Nickel Clockstad, as the fullbacks do, up in the front line inside the 20 and makes a stop on the Knights halfback. Now Gavitt trying to keep it alive. He does so. Clemmer. Pearce wrapping to the left-hand side. Grubbers. It wasn't a good one. It bounced right into the arms of John Bateman, in fact.
It was the right play, was just not the execution Mitchell Pearce wanted. As we spoke about earlier, the right side for the Raiders pushed up real hard. The kick, there was space in behind.
Great offload. There's a chance here.
Counter-attack on this left-hand side. Whitehead to Croker. Pearce gets back there, so does Ramian.
Leilua, the offload to Rapin. Again, combining those two, lethal combination.
They'll never die wondering. There's Rapiner over here on this left-hand side, doing the honours from dummy half, 10 metres in from the left-hand touchline. Down to the right-hand side. Williams now with the Clarkstown, got away from the advancing tackle of Heimel Hunt.
Square that, Colin.
And recovered well, the Knights. That surge down this left edge from Canberra. Former Redcliffe Dolphin. Hillsberg playing it there just outside the 20. Goes to Williams and put it in the air. Some pressure here on Edric Lee. Rapiner came down with it. Dumped it out the back to Leilua. He got it off the line, but it looked like they held him up.
Edric!
Wow.
Okay, we're going
This
to tackle
is
6.
great work.
No try, held up.
Last week, Edric Lee, he got held up by Maloney, which possibly cost them a victory. Now, have a look at this. This is special. Again, it's the combination. Rapiner, Leilua. Rapiner comes up with the ball. He jumps up high. He makes the catch and he taps it back. To
Canberra
stop
kick chase is
BJ,
cleared as being onside.
to stop BJ Leilua that close to the line, this is going to be incredible effort. Have a look at Edric Lee there. He's positioning, he's back turn.
Clear possession taken by Canberra.
We know that. Leilua gets the ball.
It's good work from Rapinoe, isn't it?
Oh, Leilua, look at this from Edric Lee. Contact, big, strong, gets underneath him with his body, underneath the ball so he can't get it down. Leilua then tries to turn from that to the other side, which Hunt comes in to stop that. That is impressive.
Ball doesn't make the ground. It remains up the entire time the tackle's completed. We have a decision.
Yeah, well called, Brace. There's two big plays here from Edric Lee. First, the initial contact, but then he goes again and wraps that right hand under the ball and gets his body around under the ball, which sees his hips and legs get under the Leilua trying to get it down. It's a marvellous effort from Lee. Just watch here. There's that contact, and he comes again and gets his right hip under there and his knee under there, which saved the try for the Knights. Geez, they've dodged a few bullets, but that's great work from the winger.
He was the shortest pass in history to score that try. Joey Leilua when he got the pass from Jordan Rapin. Don't think I've ever seen him stopped from scoring in a situation like that. And they've scored plenty like that. Incredible. What an effort by Edric Lee. Crossed the line 4 times, the Raiders, for just the 1 try to this point and a 2-point lead. Just over 3 minutes before the break. Bura takes a run from dummy half. Knee injury a couple of seasons ago. Now the charge down. Whiten up in their face. Gets a big result. Canberra, the 6 tackles again from close range, can open up this scoreline before the break. Kotrick, he takes it forward. They burn one there, or they get themselves sorted on that right-hand side. Horsburgh will take it forward. Not many metres to be had right there. Bura around the legs. Gavitt and Clemmer over the top as Hodgson goes to Williams. Just turns it back underneath for Havili. He wanted one more, Sam Williams. He waits on that right-hand side now. Switches back to the left. He takes them! He takes them all the way to the bank! Sam Williams getting a chance through injury. Just dummied and he sold plenty of them.
I think we're going to have a look at the obstruction here.
With the lead runner in the line there.
So Hodgson jumps out. Sammy Williams, well, there's no obstruction anywhere. There's no obstruction. I mean, Gavitt, I mean...
No, it's the next hole.
It's the next hole. He gets... Nah.
They're reviewing it, mate. They're reviewing it.
It's a poor read here from Matautia. Turns his shoulders in completely, turns his whole body in. Sam Williams, it opens up. He can't even, we can't believe how easy it's opened up, but it's just a poor read in defence.
That's a dream for a halfback, that try, isn't it?
You just don't see, you don't ever see this. This is,
look at him on the
winning the
heel.
lotto. Sam Williams looks up and he sees dollar signs.
Ball's caught on the outside of the lead runner, which is number 17. It's a defensive decision by the Newcastle player to go in on that lead runner.
Spot on.
There'll be nothing wrong with the put down. It was alarming the way the hole opened up for him.
We have a grounding.
With
We have a decision.
Going in, if anything, as opposed to coming out towards Sam Williams, who began last season as the first choice halfback for Ricky Stuart. Played the first 5 rounds before Aidan Caesar became the preferred option and the number 7 jumper. He played the last 9 games of the season in the halves after Caesar suffered that hamstring injury at the end of 2018. And there's the charge down that gave them possession in the first place.
And
great reward for Jack Whiten after the earlier errors with his kicking game.
And that's it, mate. That's the effort and that's the competitiveness of Jack Whiten. And that's what Ricky Stuart loves. Excellent work from Williams. But put it down to the number 6. He's made a few errors here in the first half. But he just competes. He stays in the game. He never gives up. And he come out of the line with a special effort. Got the charge down on the kick. Got on the loose ball. Got great territory for his team. And his number 7, his number 18, doesn't let him down, Sam Williams. Lovely work, but congratulations, Jack Whiten. That's a big play, and well done.
On the flip side with Pearce and Ponga, they're like sitting ducks on the 5th tackle options. They just won out. There's no other option but for either or to kick the ball. There's no 2-pass, there's no inside ball, they're quite predictable at the moment, and the Raiders they're reading it. And their kicking game is suffering off the back of it.
Not a big mood swing in this game.
You know,
The 2-point lead becomes an 8-point lead for the Raiders. Downstairs to you, Hannah.
Well, Sam Williams comes into the squad tonight for Aidan Caesar, who's out with that oblique tummy muscle injury. He should be back next week, though. But you'd have to think Ricky Stuart might be entertaining the idea of maybe keeping Sam Williams in the squad, because with a performance like this, why wouldn't you? And also, that's another try assist for Josh Hodgson tonight. Had those 2 earlier ones been okay, then he'd be up to 4.
2 tries to 1, an 8-point lead for the Raiders. Sam Williams made his debut all the way back in round 1 of the 2011 season. In fact, the 2011 season he played 18 games. It's his most games in a single season. His time in the NRL. Of course, he had that 1 year with the Dragons before getting a chance to come back through the lower grades to Canberra. Making the most of the injury I told you about a moment ago to Aidan Caesar. Jared Croker has had some knee issues in the past and was very ginger getting up there after that effort from the Newcastle Knights. David Clemmer had Sia Soliola in the old wishbone position. Getting back down pretty comfortably. Horsburgh. Croker still with a watchful eye of the trainer out there on this left-hand side, Havili. Take it back towards the halfway line. Just a nice secure kick to finish off a good first half of work. Bateman, they might have other ideas. Trying to lull them into a false sense of security there and trying to just rock them to sleep before he put the foot down. Hodgson, but just punch it into touch as the siren sounds. After going down here last week to the Melbourne Storm, the Raiders find themselves on top through the efforts of a couple of those men on screen. Charnzy Nickel-Clockstad, Josh Hodgson with his terrific kick, and Sam Williams grabs the second of the 2 tries as well. And really, they're unlucky the scoreline isn't a bit more in their favour, given the no tries that came up earlier in the game. Jack Whiten, a couple of moments with his boot. There's some pressure on Pearce and Ponga when the Knights come back out for the second half. We are rocking and rolling in Canberra here tonight. The Knights on the road, taking on the Raiders. Down at the moment, Newcastle, 12 points to 4. The Raiders lead this one at halftime as the Knights are about to file back out onto GIO Stadium. Had plenty of chances in that opening half. Converted just the one. And a powerful effort by Jesse Ramey, and very much against the run of play in some regards. Some dark clouds looming overhead. Hannah Hollis told us earlier in the game, chance of a thunderstorm here tonight in this region. We'll see if they can bring some fireworks, both Ponga and Pearce, in this second half.
They need to get their attack right. They've barely made a dent in the opposition, the Canberra Raiders. It was an individual effort from Jesse Ramey and they got them over the try line. But these two guys, we just showed Mitchell Pearce and Kalen Ponga, they need to create more opportunities. They've got to combine better. There needs to be more fluency in attack. 3 runs for 33 metres. He had 2 poor kicks at the end of that first half. Pearce, he's a lot better than that, but they've got to help each other. They're kind of playing a bit one out, all three. Even Kurt Mann, he hasn't had too much involvement, so they need to improve. There's no doubt about that.
Nathan Brown again in our pre-game show said he would stick solid with this, I guess, experiment still in some regards. Kalen Ponga playing in the 6th jumper. He said he would remain that way for 4 to 5 weeks. Wanted to give it a good run before he made any decision about his longer-term future in the 5/8 role, whether he would return to fullback. A decision, he said, made after thinking back to his time when he was a Dragons coach. Former New South Wales Origin coach Laurie Daly was an advisor to Nathan in those early years of his coaching career at St George Illawarra. He was said you'd make a change, leave it for a little period and wait and see how they go without chopping and changing too much. You don't have to change when Josh Hodgson is available to wear the number 9 jersey for the Green Machine. Terrific first half, so creative, so dangerous inside the 20 as well. And perhaps at the moment he is the difference in the game.
Yeah, everything you said, Braith. The opposite applies for Josh Hodgson. He's controlling everything perfectly. He's got the team in great rhythm. And a superb first 40 from the Raiders, number 9.
Kalen Ponga gets us back underway. 40 minutes remaining before we take you back to Sydney for the Eels and the Roosters. Oh, mouth-watering battle that will be, given the way the Parramatta Eels have started this 2019 season. Horsburgh to play it here from Hodgson. Comes across to Silva Havili. Working it towards the 40. Grabbed there by a leg. Hayden Guerra still out there in this to begin the second half. And they're going to say that Silva has to go back a couple of metres. He was dragged that far on one leg by the Knights defence. Soliola playing. Here is Bateman. Nice long run in the early stages of that first half. Hodgson very flat on that left-hand side they were. Very clever to deliver that pass across the face of 2 or 3 others before Havili came up with it. Now the hands of Wyden betray him. A couple of kicks out on the full in the first half, and that one propelled forward. The pass just behind him slightly.
Yeah, mixed basket tonight for Jack. Just went a bit too early on this. It was just over his right shoulder. He should have caught it. A bit disappointed with that, but not in too bad a field position 30 metres out.
The change over the Knights to work it away from their own end as they do. A half-time report from Hannah Hollis. What was happening in the sheds, Hannah?
Well, Ricky Stewart just wants a repeat of the first half. He said we started pretty well. We need to keep possession and the rest should work itself out. I asked about the mixed bag of kicking from Jack Whiten, and Ricky said, you know what, I'm still pretty happy. As for Nathan Brown last week, thought Kalen Ponga was away there, Nathan Brown last week spoke of the desire in the team, or should I say lack thereof, and he's feeling the same way tonight. He's told them the Raiders just want it more than us. Give me a lift in energy. We know the Raiders love an offload, so shut it down.
He was doing some dancing, Kalen, wasn't he? But I was very confident he had it covered if he burst into clear air there, Hannah. And here is Mann now to play it just inside the Raiders 30. Go across to Mitchell Pearce to put it up in the air. Kotrick standing underneath it. Some legal blocking there from Croker and also Whitehead. They begin from inside their 10. They have a pretty good fist of the metres from inside their own territory. in that opening 40. Nickel Clockstad here. Taking a good stop by Guerra and also Bura. Elliot Whitehead, one of the 4 Beatles in this Raiders forward pack. Hodgson, Whitehead, Bateman and Sutton. But the mop tops are back.
George Williams is signed with the Raiders as well, the Wigan 5'8". Great young player. He'll be joining them as well, so strong UK influence for the Green Machine.
And Hodgson, Bateman and Whitehead, they have half the English Test pack in the starting lineup here tonight against the Newcastle Knights, with Tarpany out of action. Here's Whitehead. Kick certainly has plenty of distance on it, doesn't he? Easy kicking motion, and he strikes them well. They travel a long, long way. Edric Lee bringing it back to Leilua, who accommodates him just outside the Knights' 30.
I'm not too sure if Sam Williams might be a bit busted with a leg injury. He hasn't looked to be in kicking position at all. He might be a bit ginger. Like we've said, Whiten's done all the kicking. Edric, a bit unlucky there.
I think that's the right call. He's all
going
over
back over here, going back through.
He's all over it there. Lewis was all over him while he's trying to play the ball. His knee knocks the ball out. It's a good call. And Newcastle, well, here's the first test. In the first half, they had plenty of opportunities. They really struggled at this end of the field. Let's see what they've got here early on.
That's a hit back early in the second stanza. It's Clemmer. Works it up towards Saliola and also Avili as Bura waits at dummy half. It goes to Pearce with players in motion around him. Man to Ramian. There's a collision of bodies back around the pass, and it's going to be a penalty against the Newcastle Knights for an obstruction play.
And this sums up the Newcastle Knights at the moment. There's no fluency, there's no cohesion. Their timing's out, and I mean that's soft, but it's just an penalty. It's very soft, okay? The penalty's soft, but still their timing's out. He's almost passed the ball here, Guerrero, before they throw the pass. Kirkman out the back, which was an ordinary pass to Ramian, who had players all over him.
All the way.
Interesting call, given that nothing eventuated from the play itself. Sure, there was a collision, and had they scored a try...
That's a no difference to someone who runs behind their own player and stops. If there's no advantage...
There certainly wasn't any advantage there. I'll tell you what, it's raining, and my record now, 5 games called, 4 rain games in 2019 for W. Smith. Take me anywhere to break the drought. I'm available.
The thing is, out of those 5 games, you're nice and warm up here in the box, and it's nice to be with you for a change.
I haven't got wet yet. Here is Hodgson. Comes across to Havili. Now Williams does some kicking, chips it in behind them on a greasy surface suddenly. Pressure here on Man. Rapida comes back. A great kick by Sam Williams. You're going to wait for a little deft touch in behind the line. It was certainly worth waiting for.
And this is the experience. He's with an inexperienced half in Jack Whiten, but this is perfect. 3rd tackle. So he takes a bit of a risk, puts the kick in. It's raining, it's slippery. He gets the depth perfect and the chase even better there from Rapina. Exactly what his side needed, and he executed it.
We respect that was his strength earlier in the game, Brayton. It's a lovely kick, a lot of pressure on the Knights here.
Great drop out.
We go 55 on the fly to Nickel Clockstad, who hands it off. Saliola just charging hard and straight. One of the trademarks of his long career. Hodgson goes to Horsburgh. Big set here defensively for Newcastle, isn't it? Down by 8 points. If there is more rain around, points may be hard to come by. They can't afford to crack here. Whitehead runs towards Clemmer and company. Plays it quickly enough. Hodgson. That's a great service there from Whiten. Goes to the line, then Williams goes to Bateman. He tries to back his way towards the try line. They play for Nickel Clockstad. Again, a quick play of the ball. The fullback, chance to try and chance his arm from close range. They were able to wrap him up. I've got one more here. Slow play the ball. Havili gets to dummy half. Bypasses everybody over the head of Williams. Hodgson goes back and kicks it towards the corner. Lee, no pressure on him, but the kick is well weighted. Comes down a metre outside the in-goal area. Wasn't the end of the set they were looking for, but they make the Knights work it away from a corner of the field. Next best result. Here comes the rain again. Eased up for a moment there, but boy, running pretty heavily here now.
Did it ease up, Did it really?
Perhaps not from your perspective on the sideline, Hannah. Here is Ramian shrugging away from Croker. What a handful. Just outside their own 30. Gavitt.
Hold.
One more here for Newcastle. Pierce under pressure with Hodgson coming out. Got plenty on the kick. Look at Crockstad. Oh, good night with his hands, isn't he? Awkward one there, sliding into second base, but he makes the catch. No change as yet. Through the opening 8.5 here in Canberra in this second half. 2 tries to 1. Brace of no tries to the home side if you missed the first half action. That's by the majority's view. Very unlucky not to get one to Sam Williams off a grubber into the ground by Josh Hodgson, who was waiting at dummy half, but he won't get the chance here. Soliola has put it down. Perhaps the effect of the rain right there.
And that could be a moment for the Knights to capitalise off the back of. They haven't had many opportunities, and this is one that presents itself again early on in the second half. Just an unforced error there from Sia Soliola as Levi looks to come back onto the field. Maybe spark their attack a little bit.
Let's get another one, Chance.
Chance, get your head in. Head in, Jamie. Okay, clock is off. Right, or ball in.
Hold. Sorry, Sam.
Out.
And the Knights from the back of the scrum. Smith and Astor, Finch and Hollis all here enjoying the action in Canberra.
Big four.
Let's forget Smith, Cronk, Slater and Inglis. The new big four right here in the nation's capital. Maybe that's what the Englishman should be, the new big four, the green four. English green four. Here's a chance on his left-hand side. Leilua, a little work on the arm and the shoulder there of Fitzgibbon. No trouble as far as the referees are concerned. Gavitt out the back from Guerra to Pierce. Now a chance. Man, Ramian couldn't hang on to it. It was a bullet-like pass in these conditions, and he just couldn't grab the handle.
Well, the set was better from the Knights. The play to the left here, some nice timing. Fitzgibbon got in behind a nice one-on-one, got a quick play of the ball, and it's a lovely offload, and they shifted. They just need to execute that pass. Kurt Mann needs to put it out in front. In these conditions, you need to put it on a dime, and too much pressure there for Ramian to come up with a catch, and the Raiders now inside the Knights half.
Aiden, go 3. Good, Aiden.
Horsburgh looking for an offload there. A moment last week with the Melbourne Storm forwards. Things flared up as Bateman goes to the line. And Ricky Stewart had a chat to his firebrand young forward during the week. How to just keep things under control as Williams, again a chip towards the corner. Lee might be able to get a foot back there. In fact, he didn't get anything. And a complete hash of the catch. There's going to be a knock on, you would think, against the Newcastle Knights. It looked as though he was hedging his bets, wondering just how far away the white stripe was.
Your man Sam Williams again there, Braith. Lovely kick and a lovely chase from Rapana. I think that's a touch off Rapana first. I think this might change.
Well, it should change if he has touched it.
Not sure.
It's hard to tell. I mean, the bunker will have a better look at it than us.
It's a big call. It was a lovely kick from Williams. Landed a metre out from the line. Edric Lee standing still, couldn't get a jump. Rapana was all over the top of him.
Where's your lock?
Now they're going to stick with the Raiders' feed. And on the attack here, big set of 6 for the Knights.
Okay, shot clock is off. Head in, Josh. Ball in.
Edric Lee, only the tallest halfback ever, standing beside the scrum there as the Raiders win it, and then Rapana puts it down. On play number 1. Rapana wrapping to the left-hand side. And they give it straight back to Newcastle.
Yeah, on play 1, it's your worst nightmare as a team, as a supporter, as a coach. I mean,
Probably as a front rower, because you just put your head out of a scrum, you're going to run over the other field and put your head back in.
Yeah, perfect opportunity here for the Raiders to try and put a nail in the coffin. I know there's a long way to go, but if they score another converted try, really hard to come back with the attack that the Newcastle Knights have shown so far this evening. So they let them off the hook, and the Knights just remain in the game. They remain in the contest. They haven't showed us too much, and we've been quite critical of them when they have had the ball in hand, but they're still well and truly in this contest. They just got to find something. You've got to find it soon.
Arms around, please, Jared.
They need to change it up. They really do. They've got to change their attack up on the run.
Time is on.
Let off there as they win the scrum. Danny Levi back out there, handing it off to Sean Kenny Dow, and one of his former clubs in action beyond this game tonight. Right here live on Fox League, you'll see the Eels take on the Roosters, the defending champs. And is next, following the Raiders and the Knights, as Fitzgibbon. It's it beyond the 30-metre line. Take it down this left-hand side, and here's a mistake. The bearded forward has put it down, and the Raiders get another chance. It is difficult to hang on to this ball suddenly here in Canberra.
Yeah, Hannah mentioned at half-time, Nathan Brown said they lacked a bit of intensity and enthusiasm, lack of energy. I'd have to agree, the last 2 weeks for the Knights, some clumsy areas, ill-disciplined, and haven't got into any rhythm with their attack, and some worrying signs here for the Knights. Last couple of sets have been really poor.
I think Nathan Brown asked for vodka, he got water instead.
Right, I'll clock off. Ball in. I've already called the clock off. Out.
The clock sounds, play on. Seems to be the case for most of the scrums at the moment. And Whitehead will play it here, and now Guerra getting caught up. Penalty right in the middle of the field, just outside the 30. It's only an 8-point lead. Had it been 10, you'd imagine they'd have taken the chance to go to 2.
Tap and go or kick it out.
Another example there, Braith. Guerra just going back over the player, leaving the referee no option but to give the penalty.
They're taking their time. Let's go. Let's rock.
Williams kicking for line. They'll begin from 15 metres out. Another big chance for the locals. Leilua takes the carry off the tap. Michael Clockstaff passing to Josh Papali, back out there now. Good tackle there by Aidan Guerra. Long left-hand side. Hodgson waits an age before he floats it to Williams. Fairly stagnant on defence on that right-hand side. The Newcastle Knights didn't get up at all, given how long Hodgson hung onto the ball for. Here is Soliola. He gets spun into the ground. They've got 2 more plays, Canberra. Hodgson will find Williams. Back on the inside for Horsburgh. Runs towards Gavitt, gets that bumper bar up and finds the upper chest there of Gavitt, who makes the tackle with Levi. Very slow in getting off him on the last tackle.
Cardinal sin. Last tackle. Last tackle. Your side just completes 5. And you give away a penalty, and it was a stupid penalty.
You can see Danny Levi trying to drag him off the tackle player.
But you find you get these real ill-disciplined penalties when you lack energy, lack enthusiasm.
It's lazy, isn't it?
It is. It's lazy, and that's how they've been this game all night. Raiders on the attack again.
Surrender!
Well, you figure it's Josh Hodgson time once again.
There's nearly another penalty there.
There's a very slow one. Papali off Hodgson, who has at times the Knights mesmerised. Seems to have all the time in the world. Here he is from dummy half. Finding Williams, goes first man play to Horsburgh. Good stop there, Bura. Along with Matautia and also Levi, the 3 smallest forwards, making a nice tackle right there. Hodgson goes a full 360. He's in the America's Cup suddenly. Had to do a penalty turn. Now Nickel Clockstead runs towards Ponga. He's taking the mickey at times, isn't he?
Well, talk about pressure. He had the chance to spin right around and still get a kick in.
Now Rapiner from dummy half almost does a Hodgson. With one way, goes back the other. Williams off the upright.
Too good.
Straight to Kurtman. Needs to stay in the field of play. and there was plenty of pressure on him, but he did.
There was. Those big post pads have saved a try for the Raiders.
Great shot.
Cost a try.
Great shot from Whiten, but they've called him offside. Like a missile, he comes out of the line, puts on a good hit. It was a great hit.
It was a great kick from Williams on the last tackle, and there's 4 or 5 Raiders chasers there. It hits the upright. The next play, Whiten. Energy, enthusiasm. Look at him get out there, bang. Great shot, but called offside. Pearce finds the line for the Knights.
Here we are, Jack. Hold Elliot. Hold it. Hold Josh. Go.
Well, their attack, a bit to be desired so far here tonight, Newcastle, but you can't fault their defence.
Yes.
Number of sets in succession there on their own line. There were some great tackles made through that middle of the field, especially from the likes of Bura and Levi. Also Matautia. Here's Gavitt, who gave away the penalty that gave the Raiders 6 more, but they held on and saved him some blushes. Now Mann down this left-hand side, ragdolled to the ground there by Bateman and also Horsburgh. Pearce was flat. A bit more depth there for Ponga, who wants Matautia to go back on the inside. He obliges. They're just outside the 20 with 1 more here. They need some repeat sets, if nothing else. Pearce will try and get one here. He lobs it towards the corner. Edric Lee is there flying for it. He got a hand on it, it looked like, but lost it in trying to make the catch. It'll be a changeover there on the last.
Change it over.
It's hard to generate a good last tackle play when there's no momentum through the set. We've seen there.
We go 2 ref now.
Edric Lee did his best to tap it back. Knock on there from Fitzgibbon.
When you're ready, John.
And let the Raiders off the
Play the
hook.
ball, John. No, back it up.
He's such a target, Edric Lee. And
back it up.
admittedly, Jordan Rapiner knows a thing or two about getting up and making a spectacular catch himself. It's quite the battle between them, but they just haven't got one right for Edric in attack so far here this evening.
Out now, Josh! Here we are. Hold.
Ryan Sutton back on his feet, doing some loosening up on the sideline for Ricky Stewart. Here is Leilua taking the ground. Edric Lee won't stop there on the bullocking centre. Bateman. By a fair reception committee. They came out quickly to get him. Good carry. The back end of the set. Hodgson kicking from well inside the 40. The speed of Kalen Ponga, who is back there in the full-back position. So perhaps Nathan Brown has run out of patience. Kurt Mann playing in the 5/8 role on this left-hand side, but they've turned it over.
He's come up with an error. They've moved him from 5/8 back to full-back to try and spark their attack. And he's come up with an error on play 1.
Yeah, that's a good play from Nathan Brown, I think. They need something, don't they, both? They need going into the last quarter of this match.
And Josh King also out there now in 18 for the Newcastle Knights. Replaced Herman Esiesa, who was named in the 17. He was one of the players, along with Danny Levi, who dropped off that awful effort in defence against Isaiah Yeo last week, which proved to be the difference at full time between the two teams, and Esiesa might have paid the price for that defensive lapse last week.
Stand up, stand up, stand up.
The plays. And then Sutton. On the legs there was King. Levi as well over the top as Hodgson for Williams. Now Nickel Clockstad. They came up quickly. Hunt missed him! Chansey has 2!
Good.
He fires an arrow right into the hearts of the Newcastle Knights. Strength at the line, a double. And he now has almost as many tries as he does games played in the NRL.
It started with the tackle from Bateman on Kalen Ponga, the goose step. They've just got back to fullback already. They've moved him back there for the last 10 to 15 minutes. Was there a hand in there? Doesn't matter now. You'll see here, Nickel Clockstad gets the ball out the back from a Williams pass. Right foot step on Hunt. Right foot step on Fitzgibbon. See you later, Kalen Ponga. He's a superstar, this kid.
Yeah, he certainly is, Braith. He's got plenty of energy, the fullback. And he's never dead. He pinballs off Heimel Hunt. Comes off his right foot inside Fitzgibbon. And a little lazy the Knights there, filling the space from the inside. And they've been this dominant all. This probably is a reflection now, the score of the actual match. They've been dominant from the word go. The Raiders have probably missed a few opportunities to keep the Knights in it. It's been a real sloppy performance from the Novocastrians and a strong performance from the Green Machine. I'm sure Ricky Stewart's over the moon.
Well, he knew it was a big risk coming to the Raiders so late, but he said he just felt like he was not quite going through the motions at the Warriors, but just felt like he needed a fresh start, somewhere to reinvigorate his rugby league career. And now here at 23 years of age, in just game number 10, he has 9 tries to his tally. And that's a big one here this evening with just over 17 minutes remaining. A 12-point lead can become a daunting 14-point lead from a Newcastle perspective. Croker drags it away to the right-hand side. It stays at 2 converted tries. But Charnsy Nickel-Clogstad, one of the stars here tonight, Hannah.
Was all reports from the Canberra coaching staff on Chance Nickel-Clogstad are glowing. I'm hearing he's one of the hardest workers at training. He's been ripping and tearing on the field and in the gym, and that's earned him some major respect from not only the other players, but just the staff around GAO. He has not taken the opportunity to play fullback lightly, and it's so great to see him doing so well.
He's a force to be reckoned with.
Ripping and a tearing.
There's been some famous names where that #1 green jersey, haven't there? Chance Nickel-Clogstad. 2 tries here tonight against the Newcastle Knights. It's been fun to watch.
Sure has.
And you look at the young fullback, he's only been here for a short time, It looks like he's played here for all his career.
He knows the shapes, knows the style of play thereafter. There he is, pushing up through the middle, and that's the secret, isn't it?
I tell you who's been really good too, Bateman. I mean, some of the runs, those tough carries and that hit that he came up with on Ponga that forced a mistake. What a bite he has been. Here he goes again.
Looking for a hat trick.
They got that
CNK.
real good balance in their forward pack, the Raiders. Papali, beautiful offload there.
Williams puts it in the air. Pressure on Ponga. Going over. The falls there was Jack White, and Edric Lee got there late. No call as far as a block, an illegal block is concerned.
Edric Lee went straight for White and got in his way, and White nearly got injured. He jumped high and above, but he hit the deck hard. Great take from Ponga.
He went base over apex, Jack White, and penalty here for some work on the neck.
You're holding him underneath there, Josh.
Of Edric Lee. Watch it again. There is Lee who got there. Was he there before Whiten left the ground? Was he entitled to be there? I guess the referees thought so.
He wasn't playing for the ball, but
he's the left winger and he's found himself on the right side. Here's Hudson Young, good young back rower. Really strong last week in the Canterbury Cup.
Where's Kalen? Where's Kalen? We need some individual brilliance here. We need some 2018, some of your best.
Floating out the back. Now he heads out to the back line on this left-hand side. They go to Pearce on the right. Matautia through a gap. Straight away to Sean Kenny Dow. And there is some magic. Not from Ponga, but Kenny Dow scores to give the Knights a chance.
Well, the positional switch from Ponga to fullback, he may not have had an impact with the ball in hand, but he's had it without it. And this is because Mitchell Pearce drifts to the short side. Great little pass to Matautia, who then throws a beautiful pass to Sean Kenny-Dowell on the wing. And it was Jack Whiten who overcommits to Mitchell Pearce, opening the space for Matautia.
Yeah, it's beautiful halfback play from the Knights captain. Just the tempo in his run break. He comes from the open side to the short side, squares up Papali, changes his tempo, accelerates to the outside to Whiten, who has no choice but to turn his shoulders in and puts a beautiful ball away to his back rower. It's fantastic work from the #7, and the Knights needed it. They needed a lift. They needed someone to inspire them. And then #7, Mitchell Pearce, delivers it, and Kenny Dow, great work.
Well, they needed to control the ball, and that's an example. That left-hand edge from the Raiders conceded 3 tries last week against Melbourne. Ramien's already scored down there tonight. They've just scored another one down there with Sean Kenny-Dow. Let's go back there.
Important kick. They all need to go over from Kalen Ponga. He strikes it beautifully.
Game on.
It didn't deviate a millimetre. From the sideline, he converts the Sean Kenny-Dow try. We're back to a converted try. The difference, Hunt and Young still prowling the sideline, about to come on. In fact, he does right now, making his first grade debut, the 20-year-old former Hunter Valley junior. He was a Greta Brankston Colt and played in the lower grades for the Newcastle Knights. Had a drug sanction he had to overcome, linked with the Canberra Raiders, and here he is getting a chance in the big time tonight. Newcastle back within 6.
Here we are.
Tim Glasby's had a big stretch back on the bench.
Great first tackle from the debutant.
Right underneath him as well there with Hodgson. Oh, what a stop on the Queensland origin forward, no less. Oh, King comes back to the middle again. Glasby keen to get right back into them. Takes another carry, another good hit, this time from Papali. And Hodgson once more. Ponga to kick from inside the 40. A stabbing kick over the head of Nickel Clockstad, who goes back to clean it up. Tries to get away from chase there of Mitch Barnett.
Here they come, full of energy here, the Knights. Watch the speed of the line here.
Well, they can't give away a penalty. Got to stay disciplined.
Rapper tries to get away from Barnett, nothing doing there, and with a bit of help, Glasby got involved. They drive him back inside the 20. We go back a year, the Raiders made a habit of coughing up leads late in games in the early part of the season. Ricky Stewart and everybody here in the stadium will be nervous. Is there an issue here with
giving him a mouthful? They lure.
Just a penalty, mate. Okay.
Glasby?
Time off.
He's been left on the ground here.
Back it up. John. Mitch. Just back that way. Back that way. Back this way.
This could be a penalty against Leilua.
I think it will be.
They've said elbow. They've said elbow to the head. He walks over and gives him some, just a...
I've just got a penalty. Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's...
He's up. We'll wait for the replacement.
Unfortunately, that is very Joey Leilua.
It's just a shocking time in the game to come up with that.
I'm waiting for a replacement.
Ricky Stewart, if he didn't have a running battle with Joey Leilua in 2018, he certainly had to speak to him a number of times after, in particular, an incident at Belmore against the Bulldogs, where he gave the Bulldogs a spray when the Raiders got out of jail there late in the piece.
You've just got to be disciplined there. It says you've got to be a selfless player. Sometimes you're in positions where you want to bite. The opposition does something to you. You've got to have patience and show some restraint. And now he's put his team under all sorts of pressure here.
Hold it, fellas.
Clemens coming back onto the field. And as we've said a couple of times here, there's been a positional switch. Kalen Ponga back to fullback. Kurtman, Pearce in the halves.
Well, they could tie it up right here. Levi waiting at dummy half. Clemmer playing it. And here is Pearce. Smell, this is the chance. Barnett will play it, and then hanging on too long was the man on debut, Hanson Young. The 20-year-old gives away a penalty. 12 minutes remaining. And they'll stay on the attack here. There's the temptation, I guess, to take the 2, and then should you score a converted try, you find yourself in the lead. But they'll keep the pressure on right here. Barnett going nowhere on play number 1. Here's Clemmer running towards Williams, who was brave there. Nice stop. Courageous was the halfback underneath the big front rower. Levi goes back to Pearce. Out wide of Ponga on the gallop. Ramian straight and hard. What a stop by Whiten. With some help from Whitehead. They thought there might have been a knock-on, no call from the officials. Pearce going nowhere. Stepping back into the traffic. Papali was there. Now Levi. Josh King just trying to storm his way over the top of Nickel Clockstad. He went close in doing. The ball came free. It's been held out, and they must be very close. In fact, there is the official warning.
Jared's the captain. Jared's the captain. Let's go. We're good to go.
Josh Hodgson saying that we're both captains. Come on, Knights, let's get it going.
So they look a little unsure. See how they take their time with their taps? It's like they're looking for each other to come up with a set play or...
Well, it's 2 up for Ponga, then you take another settle, and then it's 1 up for Ponga.
That's exactly right.
Levi. Barnett off the shoulder there of Whitehead.
Numbers right here. Newcastle want it.
Not a great pass, some interference there. Ponga ends up with it and gets crunched by Whitehead. Took a real shot there for his trouble. Slowly back to his feet as well. Kalen Ponga. Clemmer for Pearce. Man to the line. He's got Fitzgibbon going with him. He had Leilua under pressure. It was a good one-on-one stop by the man who gave away the penalty in possession that has them under this pressure. Pearce's kick again can't get through the line. Second time tonight from close range. He hasn't got it through, and the Raiders have absorbed all the pressure. Nickel Clockstad has been left on the ground here with a collision of bodies. And that ball was bouncing around. Is he clutching at the throat or the upper chest there?
You'll see here Clockstad. I think it was earlier he came up with that injury. You see Kalen Ponga grabs him. I don't know about that. There's not much in that one. I don't think he's going to get a penalty for that. But with Mitchell Pearce's kicks tonight, it's like there's no other option. It's just a second thought, and because of that, the execution hasn't quite been there. That was the 4th tackle there. So whether it's a frustration because they can't break the line, he just comes up with that kick. I'm not so sure, but as I mentioned, it's a second thought. It's not working.
We've seen that play, which Whiten did a great tackle on Roman. The play was just that they already had that in their head because the defence had backed off. And they play with that. They were going with that no matter what the defence did, instead of reading defence and acting accordingly.
What an absorbing game right here to kick off Friday night footy on Fox League. Following this, the Eels and the Roosters. Hudson Young. Take a carry, young man. And Newcastle Knights defenders scattering everywhere. Hodgson hooks it around the play the ball. Finds Edric Lee on the full. And brings it back to play it just inside the 30. Ponga gets to dummy half. Kenny Dow being well contained inside Newcastle territory tonight. They've done a great job on the back 5 with their carries. And there's another great stop, as you mentioned, Braith. Croker it was underneath Ramian.
So they're running one out. Look at that. They're one out. They've got to find some support, find some short passes, get some quick play the balls, gain momentum.
A shift perhaps here. Pearce to the line, gives it to Ponga. He holds it up. The pass is a poor one. Play on ears, and Hunt gets driven backwards by Leilua. This will be the last right here on the back foot.
Oh, no.
Edric Lee, as he knocked it on, it looked like he had. Yes, he did. They don't get to the kick.
All up and clock's on.
And again, it's the setup before the kick, just cruelling the Knights over the past couple of weeks.
Like we mentioned earlier, it's hard to generate a good last tackle option when there's no momentum through the set. You've seen a poor pass from Ponga to put the left edge under pressure, and it's just some lazy work from Big Edric. Got to bend that back, son.
10 seconds. Joey, Josh.
Great defence from the Raiders. Great enthusiasm, real intent there. They were fired up. They were high-fiving off the back of that knock on there from Edric Lee. They just kicked that scrum feed in.
They've had the intent all night, haven't they, Braith? From the word go, they've come off the line.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
A ball put down by Jack White. Play on, is it?
No, it's a knock-on.
Say a knock-on both ways.
Easy.
First tackle.
The ball's dead. The tackle was complete.
A roller coaster ride for old Jack tonight was.
Box on.
few errors, plenty of good stuff, plenty of enthusiasm, a
Game
couple of
clock is
great
off, stay
tackles.
there if you want
Still
time off.
running. Shot clock is still running, Jack.
Yeah,
It has been the proverbial mixed bag from the new number
Shot
6.
clock is running, Raiders.
Jack
Head in.
Whiten here tonight.
They can't find the knockout blow.
Head in.
They've had some opportunities.
Head in now.
Chance, get your head in.
Okay, bowling, Mitch. Game clock on. Out.
Kenny Dow off the scrum wing. 7 minutes remaining here in Canberra.
He's dropped it too.
And the Raiders screaming for a mistake. They can't get the opinion of the referees to join them in that appraisal. Levi off the back of Fitzgibbon. Finds Clement, goes to Pearce. Good ball for Mann. They came up quickly. Here's some space. Mann gives it to Kenny Dow. Gets away from Nickel Clockstad, who was able to recover and make the tackle. A couple of metres out, they finally got them on that right-hand side. Here's Pearce. Ponga. They switch from sideline to sideline. Hunt has Edric Lee. He's going nowhere though in the tackle of Leilua. He was tackled. It looked like he was tackled. They're going to say he wasn't tackled, and it was play on.
Up here, fellas.
A big call there as Edric Lee tried to surrender in the tackle.
Raiders, let's go.
He hit the deck.
Clock's running.
Ricky, I need you to watch.
According to the men that matter, it was all in one motion.
Hymel Hunt had to go to ground there. It was a ridiculous pass. I'm sure. Well, he grabs his leg and lifts it up after he's got 2 or 3 players on him there, Edric Lee. You'll see here, Hymel Hunt throws. Edric Lee steps on the inside, hits the ground. There's 3 blokes. He picks his leg up off the ground and lifts him. How is that not a penalty?
Yeah, that's crazy. How can they all miss that? There's 3 of them there, touch judging 2 referees.
A tough call against the Newcastle Knights right there. Rapa.
Up, Dave.
White just trying to get through his touches to the end of the game here and maintain this 6-point lead. A high tackle on Jared Croker. You wonder how many more chances the Knights will get between here and full time.
Yeah, they'll slow it down here, and they've been the better team all night, the Raiders.
They certainly have.
That's a lazy, another ill-disciplined penalty. Nathan Brown will be very disappointed. Like we've said, they've probably failed to put the nail in the coffin, but they've been the far superior team all night.
Let's go, Raiders.
Sometimes you just look at a side and they got the deer in the headlights, and from the get-go, it just feels like Newcastle, that's where they're at. Yeah, they're looking at each other, looking at each other for answers. There's no one really putting their hand up.
Sam, let's go,
saying,
mate.
follow me. This is how we're going to do it. Let's get it done. It's all just a little bit unsure.
Well, that first attacking raid we see, Jared Croker come out of the line to save a certain trials. Plenty of enthusiasm and energy in his actions.
So that sort of Nathan Brown a moment ago. He was talking before the game saying the experiment will last at least 4 to 5 weeks of Kalen Ponga. It was given the other heave-ho after 2 2/3 games.
Yeah. Well, they've looked better in this last 10 minutes with him at fullback. No doubt.
Take it to the side. Someone take it to the side.
Guys, take the
Josh
ball,
Hodgson, play the ball.
We're going to move to the side.
Let's move it to the side.
Parley
Let's move it to
just
the
taking
side.
a moment here to catch his breath. Plenty of
Let's
attention in the tackle.
Josh,
He
let's
just
go.
winded slightly as he hit the deck there under a massive bodies.
Tackle one. Hold. Go one.
And it's play on. Here is Young.
Up now, Dave. Here we are, fellas, and hold.
99 kilograms of him, 184 centimetres. Now the stats on Hudson Young. What a Brankston Colt up there in the Hunter Valley. Here's Bateman stepping and almost away. He is away. Nickel Clockstad is there with him. Ponga comes up and makes a try-saving tackle. It goes back. Williams was thinking about the 1. Hodgson is there. He wants a field goal. Charge down. We'll wait and see whether there is a 6 again call. There is. Leilua has it.
Well, we know what their intentions are, so let's see if they set up for another one.
Sam Williams is the only player in this Raiders outfit tonight who has kicked a field goal.
He's in position right now,
In the NRL, he's out the back. Hodgson trying to find him from right in front. Sam Williams makes it a 7-point lead. 3 minutes 50 remaining. And the fill-in halfback, who's been playing pretty much in that role for most of his NRL career, gives him the extra point from right in front.
He had all day to kick it and he nailed it. Sam Williams, he's had a good solid game, Sam. Lovely run from Bateman, he's been strong.
Oh, incredible. Incredible, Bateman.
And the 5th field goal of Williams' career proves to be a handy one here at the end, towards the end of the game. They go short. Rapana comes up with the catch. And it would take an amazing run of events for the Knights to get out of this one now with less than 4 remaining.
Well, there'll be no more relief man than Ricky Stewart. Start the season with 2 home games here in Canberra. They had a tough loss last week to Storm, but they've been really good tonight. He'll be really pleased with his Chargers effort. They've had more energy, more intensity. They've out-muscled the Knights. And while they've probably missed a few chances, their effort's been great for the whole 80 minutes.
And the positive signs for Canberra is they can get better. You know, they really can. There'll be 2 wins from 3 starts, and they'll improve as the season goes on.
Williams, as the game has gone on, has done more and more kicking. We saw enough from Jack White in the first half, and Ricky Stewart surely at halftime said, Sam, we need you to step up and just hoof a few down the field for me.
He did that with a lot of my half partners as well. I think Braith's got a few of them. He says, Braith, don't let him kick it.
Unfortunately, it was me and you, Finchy, so it was lose-lose.
Kenny Dow, the Knights, back-to-back losses will fall to a 1-2 record. Now Pearce for Edric Lee. If they could score in this possession, well, I guess you just never know. Fitzgibbon for Pearce. Comes back to Clemmer. Wrapped up there by Sutton.
We've got to find some passes.
Here is Pearce. Chipping, trying to chase. He was grabbed after the event. We'll wait and see if there's a call. There isn't. They're happy for it to be play on. I'm going to say that Pearce was never going to get to the ball anyway, despite him being tackled after the kick was put in. Ankle Clockstaff. Slump to the ground. And the points are Canberra's now. Winners first up. And a wet affair up there on the Gold Coast. It hasn't rained as hard here tonight as it did back in round 1 for them. And I'll give it a game management lesson as much as anything last week by the Melbourne Storm, but they were maybe taking those lessons from last week and applied some of them themselves here tonight. They've been very good, despite completing it only just on 70% to this point of the game, with just over a minute remaining. And they've had to. They've controlled the ball well. Rapana having plenty to say. Hodgson will just come down the short side and punch it into touch. And the fans will find their feet and cheer their 2nd win of the season.
And they deserve it. And Bateman has been close to the best player in the field. Even in that first half, he came up with some great runs there. Look at that. The stats suggest that. 2 line breaks, 16 runs, 187 metres, 4 tackle busts, 34 tackles from John Bateman. What a buy he has been for the Canberra Raiders, and he's so tough. He's one of those guys that he just looks strong and tough to get down to the ground.
And he's out there for 80 minutes. You know, he's giving you quality time on the field, which helps you bench so much.
Pearce puts a kick in, but Kotrick was ready for it. We're going to feel Nick Kotrick. He brings it back. He hits the afterburners and the ball knocked down. Did Whitehead get a touch? Kotrick stayed alive. And they might want to take a look at this just to make sure.
Hey, away,
You've kept going once.
Because there's a chance Canberra have scored.
Yeah, I reckon you're right, Finchy. I reckon Kotrick, if he holds this, scores. But we're looking at...
So we got a knock-on first from Raiders?
Yep, and I had the restart was 20, but check through grounding.
Okay. Horse. 5 tackle 1, 5 no try. Just confirm the knock-on from the Raiders, and then the ball going dead for a 20-metre restart.
Kotrick's just going to pin the ears here, doesn't he? He looks for the pass. He looks for the pass. I reckon he slides over. Gets knocked down from Sean Kenny-Dow. And then what happens here with Whitehead? Whitehead was saying he got pushed. Kenny-Dow knocks that down. Whitehead goes to get the ball down. Roll it.
It's clearly Kenny-Dow's hand.
Yep.
The ball is knocked backwards by Sean Kenny-Dow. We've got a live ball to this point.
This next contest here is the one in question, though. And the
Yeah,
right
it's a knock
hand
on.
there of Whitehead making contact with it. It appeared.
Yeah.
Just there. Yeah, just there.
In going to ground the ball, the right hand of the Canberra player knocks the ball on in the end goal. We have a decision.
Horse, just check where the feet of the Raiders player is when he touches the ball.
We're really dragging this one out, aren't we?
There's 6 seconds, boys.
It's a knock-on end goal. It'll be a 20-metre restart. I'll get one play, Newcastle, to finish it off. You're right, though. Kotrick just backs himself. Oh, I think he scores comfortably.
Well, it didn't matter where his legs were they? They don't matter if they're up in row 6. It's going to be a 20-metre restart.
Wait there, fellas.
I think Ricky will say, take a look at that on video some stage during the week. Nick, if you're one-on-one with the opposition halfback and you're 3 metres out, run over the top of the bloke with the number 7 on his back. I'm pretty confident he would have done that just then. But they are 2 from 3, Canberra. An impressive win here tonight. 2 teams who both had visions at the start of the season of forcing their way inside the top 8. Well, at the moment, it's Canberra feeling pretty good about that scenario. The Newcastle Knights have work to do, and perhaps, as we've seen here in the second half, the Kalen Ponga experiment might have come to an end. He finished in the fullback role tonight. And we'll see if it stays that way for Nathan Brown and the Knights in the weeks ahead. Let's go downstairs to Hannah Hollis.
Thank you, Woz. Fullback for the Raiders, Chance Nickel-Clockstad joins me with 2 tries next to your name tonight. A couple of missed opportunities for the Raiders, but overall you get the win. How did it feel?
Yeah, great. You know, this is our first win in 2019, especially at home. Then, you know, the crowd really got behind us, and it was good that we were able to bounce back from last week.
All right, excellent. Thank you and enjoy the win.
Thank you. Cheers.